Do 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 do. Hey, what's up, girlfriend? It's the toughest digital DSLR ever created. The answer is a Nikon D4. Nothing has come even remotely close to it. Not even the Nikon D5, believe it or not. I haven't had my hands on D6. By the way, a buddy of mine has been in the camera industry for over 30 years. He said this is the first time ever on the introduction of a new camera, flagship or otherwise, that nobody, and this is a week after the announcement, nobody has pre-ordered a Nikon D6 from him, or should I say a Nikon D5S. It's kind of sad. Every 6 months or so, roughly, camera prices fluctuate. Some things go up and down on some really popular cameras, and need to make recommendations as far as what's the best value. And of course, that depends on what you do and what your budget is. The Nikon D7100 is not a bad camera, but because of the fact that you can get a used Nikon D7200, which is significantly better on several fronts, for only $500, I really only recommend the Nikon D7200 on the low end. I mean, that's not really the low end, but I never discuss dinky cameras, being the D3000 or D5000 series Nikon cameras anymore. Current used price average on a Nikon D500, by the way, is $950, which is the exact same average used price on a Nikon D810. Nikon D810 has some significant autofocus issues. I mean, I've received countless thousands of emails from people, and I, of course, encountered the same. Nikon D810 is not the best camera in the world for accurate autofocus if you're going to shoot in a shallow depth of field. It's a perfectly fine camera. It's got a couple almost non-existent bugs. The Nikon D850, of course, is nearly perfect. However, I mean, even though it's been out for some time, you know, it's still up there in price. What I recommend on a budget of, say, $1,000, or right at $1,000. Oddly enough, here in March of 2020, all three of these cameras, which I'm about to mention, are the same price used, basically, within $100 of each other. Nikon D4, $1,100 used. Nikon D810, $950, and $950 on a Nikon D500. Nikon D500, of course, is infinitely better for hardcore sports action than is the Nikon D4. There's more croppability with its 20 megapixel non-BSI regular conventional sensor. And I have two Nikon D500s, including the Nikon D500 that's filming my fat face right now on the tripod. That being said, you know, unless you're actually shooting hardcore sports action, wildlife, it's like, well, what do you mainly shoot? Are you going to frame your subject properly? I'll never get rid of this Nikon D4. I've owned like 6 Nikon D4s. You almost have to be completely brain dead and stupid and have to be trying to do it to clip the highlights on a Nikon D4. Why is that? It's not because of the sensor size, it's because the gigantic eyeballs or photo sights on the Nikon D4. This is only second after the Nikon D700 for best straight-out-of-camera images. I'm not really a straight-out-of-camera image guy, but if you're into that, you know, that's your thing, as they say, then the Nikon D4 is absolutely incredible. But the price has dropped down to $1,100. I've seen more than a few of them. I just saw like an hour ago one that's in rough shape. You know, the car door is broken, has some duct tape holding it. It's $560 for buy it now on eBay. That's completely ridiculous. Sensor is made by Renaissance, 16 megapixel full frame. If you want to get into full frame, and people are going to question me and I have to answer this question, well, if I got $1,000 to blow and I really want to have a full frame camera, so the D500, it's out of the running, right? It's like, well, I can get a Nikon D810, you know, which is a much more recent camera, much higher megapixel count, and all things being equal, generally better autofocus and more functionality than the Nikon D4. It's like, which would I buy? It's like, I've owned the Nikon D810. I own 2 of them technically. I would still much rather have a Nikon D4. I mean, this is literally the brick outhouse, best image output. Even the RAWs are easier. And of course, blowing the highlights, like I said, is nearly impossible. I mean, it's not literally impossible, but you really have to be completely stupid to blow the highlights on a Nikon D4. But they're down at $1,000 now. Just about 7 or 8 months ago, the average price on a beat-up Nikon D4 was averaging $1,600 to $1,900. It's almost half that now, at $1,000 essentially, i.e. $1,100 average low end on a used Nikon D4. This is it. I would rather have this for $1,000 essentially over that of a Nikon D810. So on the low end, Nikon D7200, at the $1,000 mark, a Nikon D4. There is nobody, unless you're a complete brain dead lunatic, that's going to be unhappy at $1,000 essentially than a Nikon D4. I mean, this is it. Some people have what I call a mental defect, and you could actually see this in cars. People, and I've seen people that are literally this stupid. Let's say you got $10,000 to blow on a car, either a used one or a new one. People would rather blow $10,000. Not that you can get a lot for $10,000. People would rather buy like a Hyundai or a Scion. You know, just this little piece of crap that won't be worth nothing. You know, as soon as you roll it off the parking lot, it isn't worth crap, right? It's like, I'd rather have a new car at $10,000. Or you could have a used Lamborghini. Not you could buy a used Lamborghini for $10,000. I mean, let's say a used BMW hot rod like mine, which is a BMW Z4. I mean, just hot as hell, holds its value, sexy as hell, fast as hell. There are people that have that psychology. Like, well, here's $10,000. Which would you rather have? Like a used, it's got a few scratches on it. You know, it's got 40,000 miles on it. Would you rather have the used BMW Z4 or this new South Korean-made crap box? And there are stupid people that would rather have the new crap box. And it's really kind of a perfect analogy in cameras. And if you got $1,000 to blow, and I've owned every major Nikon DSLR. You know, listen, for $1,000, I can't recommend anything better. And, you know, the price has never been so low on one of these units. There's even, like I said, a bad shape one. Still working for $560 on eBay right now. D850 is amazing. But you're not going to get a D850 for close to $1,000. There's just no chance in hell. You know, they're still way the hell up there. And D850 is amazing. However, for travel and roughing around, you know, I'd much rather grab for this than my Nikon D850. This is what you're going to do with it, you know. You're supposed to frame your shot, you know. It's only 16 megapixels. Well, so what? You know, unless you can't frame your shot and you got to crop the hell out of it and you need more megapixels per unit area. Anyway, for $1,000 on a full frame camera, if you figure, you know, I'm going to do portraiture and I want a full frame camera, I'm not really going to crop any. Basically never. I want, you know, camera's going to hold its value. I'm going to be really happy with. This is it. The problem with the Nikon D4S is that there's no problem with it except for the frigging price tag. While it has come down like the Nikon D4, it has not come down all that much. So the D4S, yes, is an amazing camera, just like there's really not a hair's difference between D4 and D4S. There's really not a damn bit of difference. But the D4S sells for a lot more money. People say, well, that's a better camera. Well, slightly it is, but for the price difference on a used one, not even worth considering. It's still not worth considering, so. There you go, folks. Nikon. I will never sell this camera. Actually, I'm trying to hoard spare parts. Shutter mechs. Don't tell anybody, but I'm hoarding spare parts for Nikon D4s. I have spare parts aplenty for Nikon D500s. Not for D810s, but anyway, hope you liked this video. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm that Nikon guy. I've got a lot of Nikon. Wait a minute, I can't call myself that Nikon guy. There's somebody else that does that. And I think you know what I mean when I say that. Yeah, I think you do know what I mean when I say that. Yep, that's it. That's it, girlfriend. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Nikon.